perfusion ratio. We commonly call it as V by Q. So before going into that, I will just tell how to calculate ventilation perfusion ratio. So V is ventilation. Ventilation is nothing but how much the alveolar is going to consume or the oxygen uptake. That is called ventilation. Perfusion is nothing but blood flow. So how much the capillaries are going to receive the blood. Ventilation, we calculate it as respiratory rate is 12 per minute. We keep it as 12 to 6 in the range. We can take it as 12 per minute. Ventilation is how much the oxygen is going to be consumed by the alveolar. We call it as alveolar ventilation. So why I have 350 ml? The normal inspiration expiration, how much I inhale or exhale, that is called as tidal volume, which is 500 ml. But the alveolar is going to take only 350 ml of that. Otherwise, 150 ml of the blood, 150 ml of the oxygen is being involved in the upper respiratory tract, which is not involved in gaseous exchange. That is called as dead space. So we don't calculate that 150 ml. So alveolar ventilation is equal to 350 ml. For each respiration, we are going to alveolar is going to take 350 ml. So for 12 breaths, it is going to be 12 into 350 ml, which is 4000 ml. So we know how we calculate it. Alveolar ventilation is 4000 ml. Now coming to perfusion, we call it as Q. Perfusion is nothing but blood flow. So for 1 minute, how much blood will be flowing through the capillaries, which is nothing but cardiac output. And cardiac output is 5 liters per minute. So V by Q is, we have calculated alveolar ventilation is 4000 ml. That is 350 ml into 12 ml. 350 ml is the tidal volume 500 minus the 150 ml which is not being used, which is called as dead space. So V by Q is equal to 4000 by 5000, which comes to 0.8. So ventilation perfusion ratio value, that is V by Q value is 0.8. We saw how we calculated it. Now coming to the main discussion. Now just concentrate on this lung. So the diagram is, I have drawn lung and I have divided into apex, middle portion of lung, base of lung. So the lung I have divided into 3 parts. Now you can see approximately I have drawn just for understanding sake I have taken 1 alveoli. But you know there are billions of alveoli in each lung. Just see here what you are able to differentiate from the diagram. The alveoli here is big, small, but in the base it is very small alveoli. There is importance for this. That's what I have drawn the size as such, which I will tell why that size matters. Everywhere the size that matters. Now again see here, the ventilation here it is increased, here it is 2 times increased, here it is 3 times increased. Please note it down. Ventilation increases from apex to base. Otherwise if they ask the question, ventilation will be more in apex of lung or base of lung, the answer is base of lung. Now coming to the size of alveoli, which I told. Now you can ask, sir, alveoli size is very less here, but our ventilation is more here. That's what the answer. This alveoli, since it is small, it has the, it is not one alveoli. For just understanding, I have drawn it single. This alveoli has the capacity to expand. So only when the alveoli expands, it will have the more capability to intake more oxygen, which is the function of the alveoli. Whereas here, on this diagram, I am explaining it in upright posture. So just in an upright posture, the lung before inspiration or a normal lung before going for any respiration, what is the scenario? So this has more capability to expand. Now take this alveoli which is in the apex, whether it can expand or not. That is the first question. It is already in expanded state. So the further expansion is very difficult. So this is in upright posture before respiration. Now imagine once you start inspiring, what happens? Can this alveoli take more? Very less. It will take only very less because it is already in expanded state. Whereas this, once you start inspiring, it can expand because it is already in small size and it has the capacity to expand. Now the question arises, why this is small, why this is large? The reason is mechanics of respiration. Here you imagine in the apex, chest wall which is above, I am not drawing the thoracic cavity. This chest wall tries to pull the chest wall will be going upward, whereas the pleura of the lung, the pleural lining in the lung will try to push the lung downwards. So they both are moving in opposite directions, which creates a pressure and that is responsible for this expansion of the alveoli. Whereas if you take the base of the lung, diaphragm also goes down, the lungs also tries to goes down. So very important point, in the apex of the lung, one is moving down, one is moving above. That creates a pressure which causes the expansion of the alveoli there even before normal inspiration, which is normally occurring. Whereas in base of lung, the lung is also trying to move downwards, diaphragm which is present below, that is also moving downwards. So both is moving downwards. So what happens, there is no that opposite forces which will cause a suction. So that suction is absent there. That's the reason for the alveoli size decreasing from apex to base. Now coming to next point. Now we know the reason why in apex the lung is inflated, why in the base it is not that much inflated before inspiration. The reason I told, that is because of in apex the chest wall and lungs are moving in opposite directions, whereas in base diaphragm is moving downward as well as the base of the lung is trying to move downward because of gravity. Now why there is increased ventilation in the base? Because this has more chance for expansion. So once you inspire, this 350 ml comes into the lung, which is obviously it is going to enter into the alveoli. This alveoli can take more oxygen because it has the capacity to inflate, whereas this alveoli cannot take that much oxygen as it is already inflated. So that's the reason for increased ventilation. Now just see that heart diagram, approximately drawn, and this is the perfusion. Perfusion is nothing but blood flow, and we call it as Q. So Q is nothing but perfusion, which is blood flow. Now you imagine, see here the pulmonary capillaries which is going to the apex of the heart, apex of the lung, base of the lung. Very very important point, gravity. By the way the diagram you can see, this blood flow is against the gravity, whereas this blood flow is along the gravity. So obviously what will happen, you can see here blood flow is decreased. So this side I have mentioned about ventilation, this side I am mentioning about blood flow. So blood flow is decreased in the apex of the lung. Reason is that blood flow has to go against the gravity to the apex of the lung, because heart is approximately situated in between the two lungs. The apex of the lung lies above the heart structurally. So the blood flow is decreased. As you come down and see the blood flow here. So blood flow is increased in the base because the blood flow is along the gravity and it will be much more towards the base. So I have mentioned ventilation gradually increases from apex to base. Blood flow also increases from apex to base. Now question arises about V/Q. That's what our class today. Ventilation perfusion ratio. Now little bit I need you to concentrate here. Here the ventilation is just increased only one time because it has already inflated, as I explained. Blood flow is very very less because it has to go against the gravity. So ventilation is less or it's okay, whereas blood flow is very less. So when I put V/Q, what will happen? Denominator, that is perfusion, is very very less. So obviously ventilation perfusion ratio will be greater than 1. So V/Q ratio is greater than 1 in apex. The reason is blood flow is very very less. So as the denominator, blood flow, when the denominator is very very less, the ratio is going to be more than 1, which is approximately 3 in the apex. Now coming to the middle portion or mid zone of lung, 2 times ventilation increase, 2 times blood flow increase approximately. So that ventilation perfusion ratio seems to be okay or normal. Now let's come base of lung. Just to see, you know why base ventilation is more, because in the base of the lung alveoli are small sized and has maximum capacity to inflate. Whenever the alveoli has maximum capacity to inflate, obviously more ventilation will be there, which you know. See here it is 3 times increase in ventilation. Why blood flow is more in the base of the lung? Because of the gravity. So base of the lung lies below the heart, so more blood flow can come to the base of the lung. Again it is this, but now we see the difference. Base of the lung 3 times increase in ventilation, whereas 4 times increase in blood flow. I want you to remember this 3 times ventilation, 4 times blood flow. The reason is blood flow is very more compared to ventilation. So what will happen to V/Q ratio? It will be less than 1 because Q is increased more times, ventilation is increased not that much as perfusion. So I again repeat, in the apex of the lung, ventilation perfusion ratio will be greater than 1. In base of lung, ventilation perfusion ratio will be less than 1. So don't confuse. Usually students get too confused. When you ask the question, what happens to ventilation perfusion ratio in apex? Immediately students will try to tell it will be decreased. But just note down the important point, ventilation is decreased in apex. Perfusion is decreased in apex. But when it comes to the ratio, ventilation perfusion ratio is increased in apex of the lung. Why it is increased? Because the blood flow decreases so much when compared to ventilation. That's what I mentioned. See, 2 times decrease, it may be just increase or even 1 decrease. It can be. So obviously the ratio becomes greater than 1. Make it simple. Base, ventilation is increased, perfusion also increased, but perfusion is increased more times compared to increased ventilation, which causes base of the lung denominator is greater. So whenever denominator is greater, the ratio will be less than 1. That is, it is 0.6. Normal ventilation perfusion ratio we calculated already. How we got it as 0.8? Ventilation perfusion ratio is 0.8. So now let me discuss about some conditions. In pneumonia, what happens? It is consolidation. So solid lung we say. So what will happen? The alveoli will not be able to get oxygen because of the condition pneumonia. So when there is no oxygen intake, it is called underventilated. Or keep it simple, it is not getting ventilated. Or ventilation is 0. So what will happen to V/Q ratio in pneumonia? It will be 0 because there is 0 ventilation. That means what? It is called as shunt. We call it as shunt. Shunt means blood flow is shunted or the blood flow is wasted. Why the blood flow is wasted? Perfusion is normal. That is, blood flow is normal. But what is the use of blood flow? The flowing blood has to receive the oxygen. That is the use of the flowing blood. But since the oxygen supply is 0 because of pneumonia, the blood flow is wasted. Wasted blood flow we call it as shunt. So some other conditions where ventilation is 0 or less but blood flow is normal. For example, pulmonary edema. In pulmonary edema what happens? Alveoli will be filled with fluid instead of air. Now take, this is pulmonary edema. So again what will happen? Whether it will be this alveoli which is filled with fluid, it will not be able to take oxygen. So what happens? Ventilation is again 0. When ventilation is 0, V/Q ratio will become 0. Again what will happen? The blood flow will not be able to take oxygen. So the blood flow is wasted. Wasted blood flow we call it as shunt. COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also mild. The initial stage of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, the same scenario. The alveoli will not be able to take the oxygen which is wasted. We call it as shunt. Now coming to another condition, pulmonary embolism. For example, imagine this artery is carrying an emboli. So just concentrate. Imagine the artery which is supplying the base of the lung is having some embolus. So embolus means it will be obstructing the artery. So when the artery is being obstructed because of embolus, what happens to blood flow? The blood flow will be decreased. Or imagine complete block. So the Q becomes 0. So when the denominator becomes 0, what? You will get infinity. So when V/Q will be infinity, when there is pulmonary embolism. I am just telling one example for you to understand. So E/Q ratio will be infinity in pulmonary embolism. Now take, blood flow is not there, but ventilation is normal. So what happens to that oxygen available? Whether it will be utilized or it will be wasted. Oxygen can be taken only by the flowing blood. But when the blood flow itself is not there, that oxygen is wasted. That we call it as dead space. Dead space means oxygen is present but not utilized, which is seen in pulmonary embolism. Shunt means blood flow is there but it is not being able to take the oxygen because oxygen is not coming. That is called shunt. So when ventilation perfusion ratio is 0, we call it as shunt, which is seen in pneumonia, pulmonary edema, initial stages of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. When ventilation perfusion ratio is infinity, we call it as dead space. That is, blood flow is not there, but oxygen supply will be there. But the oxygen is not being utilized. So the oxygen, wherever it is present, we call it as dead space because oxygen is not utilized. That is seen in, one example is pulmonary embolism. So what I discussed today, what is ventilation perfusion ratio? The normal value is 0.8. How we got 0.8? 4,000 by 5,000. 5,000 is cardiac output, 4,000 is alveolar ventilation, 350 ml into respiratory rate. Then I discussed about anatomical, upper part, middle part, lower part, about the importance of gravity and why the size of alveoli is decreased and why base of lung has more expansion of the alveoli, which helps in more ventilation. Very, very important. Ventilation increases from apex to base. Blood flow also increases from apex to base. But this is what very, very important in today's discussion. Here, ventilation is increased 3 times means blood flow will be increased 4 times in base. So ventilation perfusion ratio decreases in the base of the lung. Very, very important. Finally, one question which will be usually asked: why tuberculous bacilli easily grow in apex? Why TB usually grows more in the apex of the lung than other parts? The reason is, in apex of the lung, ventilation is more compared to blood flow. Otherwise, V/Q ratio is more than 1. That means what? Oxygen, whichever is there, is not being able to be taken by the blood because blood flow is very, very less. You can see here. In apex, what happens? The blood has to flow against the gravity. So there is no blood flow in the apex to take the oxygen. So that oxygen is there for survival of the TB bacilli. Otherwise, TB bacilli has more oxygen in the apex rather than in the base of the lung. Why more oxygen in the apex? Because blood flow is very, very less in the apex and blood flow is not being able to take that oxygen. So TB bacilli survives well with the presence of oxygen in the apex of the lung. So with this, I will stop this V/Q ratio. In next class, we will be discussing about the various types of pressures of the respiratory tract. Thank you.